Hello, welcome again to the lecture series on engineering thermodynamics. So, in the last session, we discussed ideal and real gas equations. Now, in this session, let us work out some numerical examples to understand the concepts better. So, basically, we will work out numerical examples. So, the first example in this case is right. A perfect gas at a pressure of 750 kilopascal. Perfect gas means again it's an ideal gas. Pressure of 750 kilopascal and 600 K is expanded to 2 bar pressure. So determine final temperature of gas if initial and final volume of gas are 0.2 meter cube and 0.3 meter cube. Sorry, 0.2 meter cube and 0.5 meter cube respectively. So it's a very simple example. The initial states are, this is the pressure given, kilopascal. So I just written in 750 to 10 to the power of 3 pascals. The temperature is given, initial value, volume is given. P1 is given, T1 is given, V1 is given. Again, here final states are given. That is P2 is given, P2 is given. We have to find out T2. So P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. Correct? So just calculate the value by substituting. It's a very simple example. Next, a vessel of 0.5 meter cube capacity, 0.5 meter cube capacity contains air at volume, contains air at, let us say, 100 kilopascal. Okay, and a temperature 300 K. Fine. Some air is removed from the vessel. So as to reduce the pressure and temperature, P2, new P2 value, new T2 values are given. Now this is 50 kilopascal. This is 273 plus 7, 280 K. Find the amount of air removed. Definitely its volume remains the same, na? V2. That is not changing. Take R is equal to 287 joule per kg for air given. So M1 is P1 V1 by RT1, M2 is P2 V2 by RT2. M1 you can calculate, M2 you can calculate, difference you find out, it is the amount of air. That's very simple. So volume of this mass, initial state of these things is M1 minus M2 RT2. So given volume, mass of air removed is this thing, right? This way also we can do, this way also we can solve. Okay. A cylindrical vessel of 1 meter diameter. One meter diameter. Okay. And 4 meter length. Has hydrogen gas at 100 kilopascal. 100 kPa. And 27 degrees Celsius. 300 K. The amount of heat to be supplied so as to increase the gas pressure to 125. For hydrogen, take Cp is this, Cv is this. So we have to determine the amount of heat to be supplied. That's the thing. Right, sir. So initial volume, final volume remains the same. Right. P1 V1 by T1 equal to P2 V2 by T2. Temperature T2. P2 is known. V2 V1 equal T1 P1. So you'll get this. You'll get T2. It is constant volume. Q is equal to mCV T2 minus C1. Sorry, mCV T2 minus T1. R is equal to Cp minus Cv. Cp is given, Cv is given. You can find out R. So m is equal to P1 V1 by RT1 means we know all the values. We can find out the mass. Substitute the mass here. Cv is known. Temperature rise is known. Find out this. Okay. Example. Very, very simple example. Two cylindrical vessels of 2 meter cube each are interconnected. One cylinder, another cylinder. Interconnected. Two cylindrical vessels of 2 meter cube each are interconnected through a pipe with a valve in between. Initially, the valve is closed and one vessel has 20 kg of air, while 4 kg of air is there in second vessel. Okay, assuming the system to be at 27 degrees Celsius initially and perfectly insulated, determine the final pressure in vessels after the valve is open to attain equilibrium. Correct? Okay. When the valve is open, the two vessels shall be connected through pipe and transfer air shall take place in order to attain equilibrium. After attainment of equilibrium, total mass of air shall be the 20 plus 4, 24. Correct? Final volume is 4 meter cube. So, PV equal to MRT. P is equal to MRT by V. Here it is air is the fluid. That's why R value is this much. Correct. So M value is totally mass is 24 kg. R is this one. Temperature is 27 degrees Celsius, so 300 K. Volume is 4 meter cube. So you'll get the pressure. So final pressure is this. So determine the final pressure in the question is asked. It's a very simple example, right? Determine the pressure of 5 kg of carbon dioxide contained in a vessel of 2 meter cube capacity at 27 degrees Celsius, considering it as a perfect gas and considering it as real gas. You have to determine the pressure. Volume is given 2 meter cube. Temperature is 27 degrees or so. It is 300 K. Mass given is 5 kg. Okay. So let us find out the pressure exerted P. But the gas that is given is carbon dioxide. So PV is equal to MRT. Since it is carbon dioxide, I should write RCO2. Find out RCO2, that is universal gas constant by molecular weight of carbon dioxide. So RCO2 value we know. Carbon dioxide is 12 plus 32, 44. Okay, that is fine. You have got RCO2. That RCO2 value you substitute over here in that equation. You will be getting the pressure value. Please remember that this is not air, so that's why RCO2. So it's a molecular weight. Anyway, you can just take this is 12 plus this is 32. It can be 44. That is 44. Okay. So determine the pressure. So you got the pressure value, considering it as a perfect gas. So I have done this. Now we have to consider it as a real gas and do it. So go to van der Waals equation. Get A and B values for carbon dioxide from the table that are available in thermodynamic tables. If you have, you can obtain these values. So then you know all other values. You can find out van der Waals constants are known, and you substitute, you can find the pressure value. That pressure value that you are going to get from this equation is this one. So for perfect gas, this value, considering it as a real gas, and you are going to get this value. This will be the difference in pressure you predict. So if I had predicted this as an ideal gas, I will get this pressure. If you're considering it as a real gas, using van der Waals equation, I'll get this value. Thus, this is how these are important. Determine the specific volume of steam. Okay, kilopascal and 712 K. Again, it is considered as a perfect gas. Considering compressibility effects, take critical pressures are given, temperature is given, steam is given. Okay, let us considering it as perfect gas. We have to determine the volume. PV equal to RT. R steam you have to find out. R steam is from universal gas constant by its molecular weight. You do this, you will get the R steam. Temperature is given, pressure is given, so you will get the specific volume. Now compressibility chart, you know actual pressure by critical pressure. First T, you get this value, reduced pressure. Similarly, actual temperature by critical temperature, you will get this, correct? So then you will get the reduced temperature. Go to the compressibility chart. From that, you will get Z value. So multiply the volume by Z value. You will get it. So if you use thermodynamic tables, or we call it as thermodynamic handbooks, all these property tables will be available. In that property, the compressibility chart will also be available. So from this, we can always read out these values. Okay. A spherical balloon of 5-meter diameter is filled with hydrogen at 27 degrees Celsius, atmospheric pressure of 1.01325 bar. It is supposed to lift some load if the surrounding air is at 70. Estimate the maximum load that can be lifted. 4 by 3 pi r cube is the volume of a sphere. So diameter is given 5 meters. So 5 by d 4 by 3 pi r cube. You got this meter cube. So we have to mass of hydrogen in balloon can be estimated considering the perfect gas. Gas constant, again universal gas constant by molecular weight, you will get gas constant R and you get V. So we'll get PV equal to MRT. Okay, from that you get this one. So PV equal to MRT, MRT is equal to PV by RT. You'll get this one. Volume of air is the volume of balloon. So mass of air displaced, you will get this. Again, you get R here, and that's the way it is. So load lifting capacity due to buoyant force is mass of air by mass of hydrogen. You'll get this one, 73.344. So you must have heard about this buoyancy principle. So you will get the mass of air if you know, right? So mass of hydrogen, the difference, like, from that, what is the load lifting capacity, we can find out. Determine the ratio of exit to inlet diameter of a duct having heating element in the mid of duct. Atmospheric air enters the duct at 27 degrees and gets heated up to 500 K before leaving the duct. The kinetic and potential energy changes during passage of air through the duct are negligible. You have to determine the ratio of exit to inlet diameter. Heater. This is D1. This is D2. So, volume is directly proportional to temperature. So, we can get T2 by T1 is equal to V2 by V1. Volume is nothing but pi by 4 d square area into velocity. Area into velocity. Volume flow rate, it is area into velocity. So you'll get meter cube per second. Correct. Kinetic energy is negligible. So this and this are both are equal. We can cut them off. This is, we can see. So d2 square by d1 square equal to t2 by t1. So d2 is square root of this, and we know this temperature. You know this temperature. You'll get the ratio. Definitely, this will be larger than this. Right here, I'm talking about the heater part. Right. A vessel of 2 meter cube volume contains hydrogen at atmospheric pressure and 27 degrees Celsius temperature. Atmospheric pressure, we know 1.01325 bar. An evacuating pump is connected to vessel and evacuation processes continue till its pressure becomes 70 centimeters of mercury. When it's 76 centimeters of mercury is the atmospheric pressure, it is evacuated to 70 centimeters of mercury. 2 meter cube vessel contains hydrogen at atmospheric pressure, that is 76 centimeters of mercury and 300 K temperature. Then I'll connect a pump to this one. Okay. So that when I take out something like that, its volume is this thing only, but the pressure will become 70 centimeters of mercury. So if I reduce the pressure from here to here, keeping the volume same, then determine what is the, also determine the pressure of cooling if it's carried out up to 10 degrees Celsius. Estimate the mass of hydrogen pumped out. How to find out? So once you pump out, determine the final pressure if in vessel, if cooling is carried out up to 10 degrees Celsius. We'll see that. Okay, as I said, atmospheric is 76, universal gas constant is given. Because hydrogen is given, so you can find out R for hydrogen. So now apply this formula. Pressure difference, everything is there. So pressure difference is this. P1 V1 by RT1 minus P2 V2 by RT2. So V is same, R is same, temperature is same. So P1 minus P2, we can find out what is the mass pumped out. Now I am further cooling it. During cooling up to 10 degrees, the process may be considered as constant volume process. See the state before and after cooling are denoted by suffix 2 and 3. P3 is equal to T3 by T2, P2. Okay. T3 is known to us. T2 is known. We have cooled it by 10 degrees Celsius. So now the thing is P2 is known. So we can find out what is the P3 using this relationship. Only thing is I am assuming this is a constant volume process and pressure is directly proportional to temperature. So calculate the compressibility for steam at the critical point Z equal to PV by RT. I know at critical point, critical pressure of steam is this, critical temperature, critical volume. All these values are known. R can be calculated. Right. So take the general compressibility chart. PC is known, TC is known, ZC can be determined. So it is simple gas equations we should know, and real gas equation, perfect gas equations, certain properties are given, other properties have to be determined knowing the conditions given. So that's how we can work out certain examples. So you also must have observed that whatever the properties we predict for, assuming the gas is real, will be different from when we assume that gas is ideal or the working substance is ideal. So hope these examples have given you kind of an idea like how exactly the gas properties can be determined. So in the library or in standard textbook, thermodynamic tables will be, thermodynamic handbooks will be available. If you have the thermodynamic handbooks, it is very easy to work out some of the examples. Okay, hope you have understood this. So in the next session, we will discuss something new. Okay, till then, thank you.